Hey everyone, what is going on? My name is Archer Live, and in today's video, I'm going to be updating you guys on the latest information regarding the console update for Payday 2 on Xbox One and PS4. Now, as a lot of you will probably have realised, it has been a few weeks since I've done a video on the Steam thread and the things Goris has been posting in there, so a quick catch up for anyone who doesn't remember where we're up to was the last video was published on 28th of August, and in that video, I said that later that week there was going to be some big information regarding a release date potentially, or at least the content featured in the update due to a supposed leak. Yeah, as it turns out, that leak wasn't quite correct. Okay, so to clarify for people who don't understand what I mean here, Goris usually posts in the Steam thread every Friday so that the week's work from the console team gets posted in there and they can update us on what they've been doing in the last 5 days. Simple as, he does it every week, and usually, even if there's only a tiny bit of information, he'll post it regardless. But the one week we thought he was going to say something big was the week he didn't post at all. And usually my strategy that I employ when I'm making videos on this kind of thing is that I'll wait for him to do something big in the Steam post. I'll wait for him to say, this thing's coming in the next update, or we're working really closely on getting it ready for X date, or we're going to have a name for it very soon, or something along those lines. When he says something big, I'm like, okay, that's worth putting a video out for. But the thing is, nothing he's said so far on its own has been worthy of a video, and usually my strategy would be that if there were smaller things, I'd wait and lump those into a big update post, but because it's been such a long time, I figured it was just better to do a video now, catch up on everything, and then everyone's up to speed when he posts the next big thing, which hopefully will be in the next week or so. And for those of you who aren't used to this format by now, it's worth reminding you that these videos go live on a Friday, which is the same day that Goris posts, but usually the videos have been done before he posts on that day, so I usually miss what he posts then, and I talk about it in the next video in the week after. So worth mentioning, because I know at least one person will probably say something like, why didn't you mention this in today's video? Because literally I've got to have time to record and edit and render it and upload it, so just clarity on that front. But either way, enough waffling, we're going to get in and we're going to cover every single thing Goris has said in the Steam thread since I made that video back in late August. Now, as I said earlier in the video, Goris did not post anything on Friday the 31st of August, which was supposed to be the day he would post something big with some big information or a release date or something along those lines. But obviously, as I've said, that leak was false, and actually he didn't post anything on that day at all, as opposed to even the tiniest update just to say things are going well, or we're just making progress, or something along those lines. It was blank. He didn't say a thing. However, Goris did post on the Monday after, on the 3rd of September, just updating everyone on why he didn't post on the Friday. So let's look at that post now. He put, "Hi Heisters, a quick delayed update as I was not in the office on Friday. The QA team has been testing full speed and there are loads of bugs to fix. We're working on that and we already have a fix for the flashbang issue. See you in CrimeNet." Just to clarify for anyone who doesn't actually know what the flashbang issue is, hasn't experienced it luckily enough, or just hasn't been playing Payday 2 a lot recently, what happens is a cop throws a flashbang in your vicinity, it goes off, your screen goes white as you would expect it to, however the white effect lasts a lot longer than it's meant to. Now, I believe this is down to Resilience Ace. I never quite proved this, but I found the issue was a lot worse when I had builds on that were using the Resilience skill. And when you ace Resilience, for those of you who can't remember off the top of your head, it reduces the duration of flashbangs, like the effect on your screen, how long the screen stays white. It reduces that time by 75%. I think somewhere behind the scenes when they've been updating the game, a switch has been flicked by accident, or some code has been tampered with by accident, where basically instead of removing it by 75%, it's added a bonus 75% on. I think that checks out, I think it works, but I have no official confirmation that is how it works. That's just my theory, and I don't think I noticed it nearly as much on builds that didn't have Resilience Aced, so I think that's what's causing it, I think, but I'm not sure. Regardless, doesn't matter too much because Goris has found a fix for it, which means very soon, regardless of whether you use Resilience or not, you'll get the flashbangs at the right duration and will hopefully not be blinded for a long period of time. Now, those of you who watched my Payday Crime War beta video last week, I mentioned very briefly at the end that I didn't think it was worth making a video on that. As I said earlier, there just hasn't been anything really substantial to make full-length videos on, and so I basically said I was going to wait and throw it in with next week's post, but next week's post was even smaller. Goris's post on that week, on the 7th of September, was simply, "Hi Heisters, no update this week other than we are still testing and fixing stuff. It has been very busy for that reason, and when there is something worth sharing, we will share it. See you in CrimeNet." Now, obviously, there's nothing really here to talk about. There's nothing to break down because there isn't anything there that's worth analysing. He's just said that they're just working away and things are going smoothly. The good thing to take away, though, is that no news with console updates in this thread is good news, because basically, if there is an issue with a program or an update or a file or whatever it may be, they usually tell us. In the past, when there's been an issue with something, they've said, we can't put this in the update, we'll put it in the next update, and so on and so forth. And Goris has already said there are 4 big features in the works being juggled at the minute to put into the next update. So we're waiting on news for any of those to say whether they're going to be happening or not. And as far as I'm concerned, you keep saying everything's running smoothly, but you can keep on thinking all 4 of those features will come in the next update. And for a catch-up, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, I mean Crime Spree, Team AI, Storyline, and Continental Coins. All 4 of those were previously confirmed to be in this next update. So as long as he keeps saying there's nothing to report, that means all of those should be in the next update alongside whatever else they put in. So good news in my front. The next update then came, as you would expect, 7 days later on the 14th of September. Now in that time I'd started posting in this Steam thread because I genuinely just thought I'd start interacting as people keep asking questions about different things that Goris has been replying to, so I figured I'd start putting a bit of input in there from the experience that I have. I mean, it's not overkill level, but I mean, at least I know a few more things than probably a lot of people, so I started posting in there. The reason I'm saying this, however, is because in Goris' next Steam post, the section about where the update's up to was directed at me, which was quite cool. I don't know whether it's because he's realised the videos that I'm doing, or just because I asked in that chat about where things were up to. It's probably because I asked in the chat, but to think it might be from the channel, that'd be quite cool, but who knows? I mean, keep an open mind, we'll see. But regardless of that, that's a debate for another day. The post then reads, "Hi Heisters, Red Archer, we are working on it whilst also updating with new features." He then replied to somebody else who asked about the name of the next update, whether it was going to have a big name like Most Wanted or Master Plan, and he basically said, "It will certainly be worth a name, but that will be the last thing to decide on, as it depends on what will go into the update. There is still lots to do, but it's getting better and better. See you in CrimeNet." Once again, my same theory applies. No news is good news, but him saying that things are getting better and better is obviously a sign that the things we're looking for are even more likely to be in the next update, and it's very unlikely at this point that we should get any bad news regarding any of those features. Now, that poster in Goris was replied to by a user I've mentioned before called Mogal. He's one of the people who comments in there a lot about what Goris is saying, and he asked Goris, "Thanks for taking the time to give us those small updates. I really appreciate it, but it depends on what will go into the update. Does it mean some content can be delayed because of bugs, or is it more on how much you can squeeze in it at the last moment?" Goris quoted this and replied, "It's more of what else can go in, and it's worth a small delay since adding stuff at the last minute is a bad idea and we avoid it, and a bit of what needs more time." He also thanks one of the users for saying they like the Crime War beta. I will touch on that a little bit at the very end of the video. I do want to cover that a tiny bit, but not important at this point of time. The key thing to take away is that this update is going to be big. I mean, he said this before, that this could be the biggest update Payday 2 has ever seen on consoles. He then split it into 2 parts, and as we know, the first part released a couple of months ago, and it wasn't exactly substantial. There wasn't a great deal there, but it was a good bit, and it kept people busy for a couple of weeks. But this next part is going to be the big one. If those 4 features I mentioned earlier are in the update, and my previous prediction of up to the end of 2017's DLC, so Reservoir Dogs, Brooklyn Bank, maybe even H3, World War II weapon pack, stuff like that, if that all gets thrown in with the features, then it's going to be a very big update. I mean, it's going to be big enough to warrant a name. As he said earlier, I think they've got some kind of roadmap plan here. They've got some kind of idea in their heads of how big they want this update to be. But obviously, we don't know. I don't know. I'm not affiliated with Overkill, so I can't give you any more insider information. Pretty much all I know is that I have predictions on what will go into it, but they're completely unfounded from anything Overkill have said. It's just my guesses based on previous history and the way Overkill tend to update things. And usually when they give us updates on DLC, it always takes us to about halfway through a year or to the end of a year. It kind of rounds things off. As I've said in the past, Big Score rounded us off to the end of 2015's DLC. Most Wanted took us roughly till about halfway through 2016's DLC. Master Plan finished off 2016's DLC and went a bit into 2017, so it would make sense for the next update to round off 2017, and then 2018's DLC could be put in the update after this next one. But that sums up everything Goris has said in the Steam thread up to now. Now, as you will probably guess, today he's due another update in the Steam forum, and as always, it's probably going to go live around the time that this video goes live as well. As I've said before, I record these videos the day before, usually on a Thursday or sometimes even on a Wednesday if I need to. Today it's Thursday for me recording this, so I genuinely don't know what he's going to post. I don't know what time he's going to post it, so I'm just not going to take the risk. Sony Vegas takes hours to render for starters, so what I'll probably do is I'll just wait, see if he posts something. If it's substantial enough, I'll do a video next week. If it's not, I'll hold on to the information and put it into a bigger video when there's more to talk about. As I've said, I didn't think any of these updates on their own were video worthy, because then I'd be clickbaity. I'd make a video for 60 seconds and go, big information, and then it's just him saying nothing to report, see you later, and I'd be like, well, it's not really worth making a video on. That's clickbaity, it's not what I want to do, and I want to only have videos that are worth watching. That's always been my attitude with this kind of thing, and it will always be my attitude. But that rounds off today's video covering Goris' post. If you have enjoyed it, please do give it a thumbs up, and it's very much appreciated if you would consider subscribing. But for those of you who want to stick around and hear about Payday Crime War, basically the gist of it so far is that I haven't played the game enough to make a video on it. Genuinely, the last few weeks of playing video games, I haven't really had a lot of motivation to play anything in general. I mean, yesterday I spent a whole day on Minecraft. I don't know why I did that. I was out of ideas, and I just kind of sat there and built stuff. I don't know what I was thinking, but genuinely, my motivation for games is just down the toilet at the minute. I don't know why it is. It just is. So I haven't had the time or the effort to play the Payday Crime War beta. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and put some time over it in the next week, get some more thoughts on it. I have some basic ideas on the game. I have played it a little bit, but I want to make sure I've got much more of a detailed outlook on it before I push a video out the door. So basically, it'll probably be next week, if not the week after, but I want to do a video covering everything to do with the beta, and I don't want to put that video out until I think that it's worthy of you guys watching it. I know people appreciate the best content, and that's what I strive to bring. If it isn't good enough, I'm not going to make the video. It's as simple as that. And basically, my attitude is that if I'd have made the video on the beta this week, I probably wouldn't have been happy with the end result, and then by association, you guys probably wouldn't have enjoyed it as much as if I wait a week or two, get the video to the highest standard I can, play the game a lot more, know a lot more about it, and then when I make the video, I know what I'm talking about, and I'll be happy with the end product. It's as simple as that. I just feel like it's best to wait until the video is at the best it could be. But either way, thank you all very much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please do consider giving it a thumbs up. It's always very much appreciated. If you are new to the channel and you fancy sticking around to see some more stuff about Payday 2 on console, Payday Crime War, or anything in between, feel free to hit that subscription button and turn notifications on so you never miss another video. As always, your thoughts about everything I've discussed in this video are more than welcome down in that comment section below, as long as every comment is respectful to the other people in the comment section, which you guys usually are, and I'm glad that everyone continues to do so. But as I've said, any and all opinions are welcome down below. If you think the update's coming soon, feel free to share your opinion. If you think there's going to be a problem, let me know of that too. I'm always respectful to know what you guys think about what I've made and what Goris has been saying in the Steam thread. Everything's welcome. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you guys in the comment section once I read through the comments. It isn't always straight away, but usually I get round to all of them if I can. So everyone take care, have a good day, and I'll see you all very soon. Thank you for watching, guys, and take it easy.